Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday, December 19th. It's 4:44 here in the Arizona desert, and we're not synced with Pacific Standard Time right now, so that's kind of annoying, but still, it's 4:44. All right, the market today is interesting. Check out bitcoindailyview.com. Things that I talk about, indicators that I use, etc., are all here. You will dig it. Um, an article today worth looking at is bonds, big tech, and bullion battered as Santa Claus rally begins badly. This is over at Zero Hedge. It's one of the top stories. You can follow it along. It goes and goes and goes through endless charts and graphs. But in general, you can summarize it with the first line there. Bonds, big tech, and bullion battered as Santa Claus rally begins badly. So today opened a bit positive. Let's go over here first to FinViz. We had a slight up on the Dow. Nasdaq dumped. S&P 500 it opened up negative too. So anyway, Dow slight pump in the morning. Nasdaq open with a dump. S&P 500 open with a dump. S&P tried to rally a little bit, but in general, they all trailed off to the negative. Had a slight upwards pump towards the end. Interesting enough. We'll see what that means for tomorrow. But looking at the S&P 500, which that Bitcoin's pretty tied to, in my opinion. They do about 90% the same moves. Definitely a red day. Apple taking a big hit, Google taking a hit, Amazon taking a hit, Microsoft taking a hit also. Not much green out there except for healthcare and energy had some green in it. Let me just make sure this is recording as we get going here. Can this thing hear me? Let me just make sure settings, camera, audio, blue ball. Okay, sorry about that. Just wanted to double check things were working because you'd be surprised how many things get recorded and there's no sound or something. It happens. So anyway, there we go. All right, you can see the article. Looking at oil spot here, top left, had a red day. Right now, we're moving into the next day here on these charts because it's a bit late in the day. So you're going to see this is actually that still shows the 19th. Anyway, so a bit of a rally for oil today. In the middle here, middle top, dollar strength index was a slight move. Yeah, an indifferent day. Pretty much, it didn't get above the 20 WMA on the daily chart. So the dollar strength index kind of did nothing today. S&P 500 did dump though. U.S. Tech 100 dumped. Gold. See here we're seeing the 19th and then the 20th opening right now for these commodities. So gold was a red day. This new day starting is in the green. We're above the 200 moving average just barely. Gold might rally tomorrow. Interesting. Silver, it's above the 200 moving average and all the important moving averages here on the daily chart. Red day today, and the tomorrow is opening very, very indifferent, or you should say in a critical spot. There's the 20 WMA. We'll see if we get a bounce off that. But in general, markets just kind of were not too happening today. You can see that on FinViz, some slight hope in the morning when they first opened for some of the indexes like the Dow. But in general, Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500, potty today. Slight rally at the end. We'll see what that means for an open tomorrow. S&P 500 once again. All right. But what was interesting, though, all day and starting early in the day, looking over here at a coin market cap, volume was up big time on the exchanges. So it was down over the weekend, but top 50, top 20, yeah, all the big exchanges were definitely, cracking up 285% in volume. Coinbase up 99%, Binance 59%. Really, Bitstamp went insane, 510%. So we had a real burst in spot trading pair traffic. Interesting. Derivatives on Binance, 25 billion, 58%. Definitely a jump in volume, but you really want to see about 50 billion for a good day. So anyway, definitely volume increasing. You can see the 7-day graphs. It's just been trailing off, and it really picked up today. So what will that mean for tomorrow? I'm very interested. Where was this volume? I didn't really see many coins doing a whole lot, but some did. So kind of need to break it down and see a little bit more detail on what pairs this volume actually was happening in. Definitely a lot of volume. Sorry, I can't break it down to the pair. If anyone knows how, let me know and I'll do it. Bitcoin. Well, I should say an easy way to do it. I guess you could technically look at coin market cap. See coin market cap. I'll take 1 second to look at this coin market cap. Yeah. Market cap volume, 24 hours. Who's got the most volume? Okay, well, Tether, yeah, huge volume, of course. Bitcoin, big volume. Ethereum, big volume. Binance, well, BUSD, big volume. USDC, big volume. XRP, big volume. Rather interesting, huh? We'll take a look at that one. BNB, Doge. So sorting it by volume, definitely got some serious volume here on. I'm interested in that Doge. Let's look at Doge and BNB before we get out of here. That's interesting. So Doge and BNB, and of course Bitcoin took a lot of volume. So interesting stuff. So definitely that's 24 hours, a real pump in volume. Breaking it down by the coin, those are the biggest ones that we're seeing. Looking at the top 100 here, Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin in the top 100, 16,432 right now for a Bitcoin. Cool. Looking at the top 100 in general, all in the red, except for XDC Network, which has been kind of cranking all day. XDC. Let's look at that before we get out of here. XDC. Once again, looking at, actually not once again, but looking at Coin 360, as you can see, a deep red day, except for Steth, whatever that is. Let me kill this one. It uses a lot of resources. All right. Looking at longs versus shorts on Binance, where the big volume is, 66% long, 33% short. Definitely some Illuminati numbers right there. For Bitcoin on Binance, for Ethereum, 64% long, 64% long, 35% short. Definitely a long bias for both Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance. Looking at the this very cool little app right here with this very cool little page. This is linked to over at bitcoindailyview.com. You can see this. Of course, you can see this morning, big dump. These are 10-second candles. Big, massive dump this morning. Hit the bottom with a wick. Definitely, you can see these yellow bars there. That's longs getting wrecked. And of course, here's short traffic, basically sell traffic. These two red columns here. So definitely, just a boom, a big dump. Somebody sold some serious Bitcoin, but it has been making its way back ever since. Seeing some $1 million buys, $1 million sells, a lot of wrecks. Hard day if you were long this morning. Gosh. Anyway, looking at Bitcoin right now, which you're probably all waiting for, on the 45-minute chart, what I like here on the 45-minute chart, you can see these blue candles by Sam. We saw a nice little run up followed by boom, a dump. And now we're seeing maybe a recovery. Let's actually look at the indicators. I wouldn't count it. Why I wanted to put in the title of this video, don't chase it. Don't chase it. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure this dump is over. Let's wait for confirmation before we're certain of that. With a dump like this, I kind of like to see a 15-minute chart get back above the 200 moving average, and that's a ways to go. So that would be around 16,715. When it breaks that, then I think I'd start looking into doing a long position, but really not until. And anyway, indicators are pretty potty right now. So let's look at a 5-minute chart. How's that looking? Can you see the big dump this morning? Yeah, you can see that big dump this morning on the 5-minute chart. Boom. Actually, no, it's right there. Anyway, guys, that's too darn granular. Let's stick to an hour. How's that looking? An hour chart, you can really see that drop off. But it does look like maybe we're getting a doji fighting back here. Let's see, I just wouldn't count on it. Let's look at a 4-hour candle. Yeah, see, 4-hour candle. This is interesting here. Let's look at 4 hours. 4 hours. You can see the squeeze indicator has not showed really a turnaround. Directional index is not shown a turnaround. Binary candles is not. Volume is still pretty high. So but not as high as when it dumped. But one thing I'm noticing is that when I was looking around today, it didn't take that much volume to dump this thing hard. So definitely Bitcoin's a bit volatile right now. So I'm just going to hang out and let this thing do what it's going to do. I don't really want to kind of keep my cards close to my chest right now because everything is a little crazy. Looking at, we have a nice buy zone right down here. We have a low. Well, so it says here in the daily candles. Anyway, guys, sorry if I'm a little bit abstract here. Just kind of looking at this thing. Like let's look at this fib level that I oftentimes look at. I wonder if we're below. I think we are. So if I go way back to the fib sequence, way back here to March of 2020 when we hit the 3K level, if I look, yeah, see, this is the thing. We've been hanging out. It kind of looks like the 786, which is really as low as you want to go. You want to bounce there, or else you're kind of in trouble. One of the things that I do note is, as you can see, we kind of came up here and challenged it. We got above the 20 WMA, got above the 50 moving average. 50 moving average was right there in the 786, and boom, we got rejected. So that's a little bit interesting. Is the 786 going to be, well, it is resistance to get above, but definitely the 786 fib level and the 50 moving average definitely are resistance. So Bitcoin has tried. It made a nice attempt. It kind of had an upwards channel, you could almost say, going here. If you want to be somewhat creative and say upwards channel, and it tried to get above that 200 moving average, and that 50 moving average, and that 786 fib level, which is like 2 years old now. Boom, it just got rejected hard. So that's not something to really be optimistic about. So once again, looking at the 45-minute chart, you can see this little upwards move. Somebody knew something, followed by a big old dump. Wouldn't surprise me if that was shorts loading up. And then other than that, that's about it. That's about it, really. Let's look at an hour chart. 1 hour. You don't see that little pump beforehand, but it's still there. And really, it's all about, have we hit the bottom and we're going to move back up? We'll see. Been watching some alts today. I kind of thought AGIX versus USDT was going to make a move, but it really did not. Let's just look at some pairs here. We'll rock this out real quick. This is my operator AF list. ELF today, unexpectedly, unpredictably, made a massive run. That would have been great if you were in ELF today against BTC. So ELF BTC, boom. And this is the thing. Even though Bitcoin is rather low right now, it dumped. It flushed a lot of longs. I would say that actually tomorrow morning, especially in tomorrow, are going to be interesting days, maybe very good trading days, I think, because we're going to see some alts recover against BTC pretty strongly. So I'm definitely going to, once I feel like Bitcoin is looking good, like I say, I'm kind of watching for Bitcoin to get above the 15-minute 200 moving average, or at least kind of have some positive indicators on the 15-minute chart. And that's kind of crazy, but I like to see a strong Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart if it gets there. And then I'm going to start to look at some alts that really start to move, and I'll be kind of watching some, because I think some alts versus BTC are going to really make powerful moves. Like, oh, bam! I don't think this is the only one that we'll see. Squeeze indicators looking good. Directional index is looking good. Binary candles are looking good. It's wonderful. It's given a lot back right now because that was a big pump, but we'll see how much it gives back. Regardless, it's all about catching these. If you can see them starting. XMR, Monero versus BTC made a nice move today. If you look at this, if you look at XMR versus BTC, you can kind of see, even though it definitely had some crazy volatility today. If you want to be, can I do it? Can I do it? Let's just, it's kind of hard to make an upwards channel. This is kind of a little bit spooky looking, but still, regardless, one way or the other, you can kind of say we've had an upwards channel going on that it really did not break out of, even with this volatility today. It hung in there. So XMR versus BTC, feeling kind of bullish on that, and the indicators are pretty darn strong. I'd like to see the ADX get about 20 at least, and I think we're good to go. This one very well may continue. My guess is it will probably come down and visit the middle of this upwards channel before it continues moving up. Looking at the hourly, it looks good there too. I like it. Looking at the 4-hour chart, yeah, it just continues rocking. So really, Monero versus BTC, XMR versus BTC, nice strong trade. I like it. It's still moving up. It ain't taking Bitcoin's crap. So I'm going to wait for a more specific move on my favorite time frame, the 45. I think it may retrace a little bit before it continues moving up, but it's looking pretty strong. So XMR versus BTC, definitely nice place to be if you find a good entry. Tron TRX versus BTC, as you can see, definitely made a strong move towards the end of the day. Looking good, indicators looking good, giving a lot back, it pumped pretty hard. Ant versus BTC, dump, beginning to add ants out of the picture. That thing is jacked. How about FET versus BTC? Jacked. Forth versus BTC, nope. Twit versus BTC, nope. So ELF, XMR, and TRX, Tron, interesting, but really XMR versus BTC. I'm going to kind of watch this guy. If we see a healthy BTC and XMR is looking good, I might go from some, USDT or USDC into some Bitcoin, and then see if I can grow my Bitcoin with XMR versus BTC. That's looking kind of interesting. Let me fire up TradingView once again. Let's look at XMR versus USDT on Binance. XMR versus USDT, yeah, that's 15-minute chart there. 45, jacked. Okay, so Craig's trade of the day, definitely. If Bitcoin gets healthy on the 15-minute chart, starts looking good, gets above like 16,700 or so, looks strong, or at least we kind of get some upwards movement, and the indicators are looking good. Gosh, what if we got a strong 5-minute chart? 5 minutes, slowly cruising up. I'm gonna watch 5, watch 15, try to get an optimistic view, some kind of a recovery, something looking good on Bitcoin. And if it does, like I say, USDC to Bitcoin, maybe let's ride Bitcoin up, or I might take some of that position and put it in XMR and see if I can make some more sweet Bitcoin sats. That's my play right now. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. And take care, everybody. And I will see you again, hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to try to keep these running all week. I think definitely tomorrow might offer some serious alt explosions. I know I want to catch them. And look at that. As I mentioned, XMR versus BTC on a 45-minute chart. Just open with a little bit of a green candle, positive indicators. Kind of a bounce off the mid-range, I would say, of this upwards channel. Maybe. I'm waiting for a healthier Bitcoin before I make a move. Take care, everybody. Interesting week. Merry Christmas. The world's crazy. Take care.